exciting with two little girls, 4 and 9 back then, and eyes full of hopes and dreams and trepidatious. It was quite a move, and never did we realize that we land there, and within the 6 months, obviously the world is shut down. There's a pandemic, a transition that nobody could have been prepared for, and the truckloads of dreams suddenly became, truckloads of fortitude, because each one of us sort of had to come up with our own coping mechanism and resilience to find ourselves in a world which was very new. Our safety net was back home here. Everything there was new. And I remember my little one, she was 4 when we landed there, and she said, "Mama, are we out of Earth now?" At that time, it literally felt like we were out of Earth when the pandemic happened. But why I give you this backdrop is because that is when Manu put pen to paper. In the middle of all that chaos, in the middle of, all when we are trying to find who we are, why we are here, what's our life going to be like, what's tomorrow going to be like, that is when, this book started. And hats off to him for a new beginning at a time when everything around seemed like it was ending. The doors were getting locked, the conversations were getting shorter, the people were not wanting to meet one another, and in general there was a loss of life everywhere. In our little home, in a little room, Manu with his pen and paper, trying to do a new beginning, that was like a safe haven, a small ray of hope for all of us. Every day we would track, okay, where is it? Because there was something different, something new coming along. So he did not take 6 years to write that book. He just took that long to publish it. But, which is why this book is extra special. And I'm so glad that we are able to do it with all of you. What better place than to do it here, with family and friends. The so-called newly acquired friends are not very happy that we are doing this here in India, but we said this is home, this is heart, this is the only place where we will do it. And which is where when you go through this book, you will realize, and I'll borrow the author's words, which never made it to the title, this book is a juxtaposition of US, of India, of a home that we were born in and of a home that we acquired. So I'm really hoping that you enjoy the characters, the drama, the plot as much as he's enjoyed writing it. And he's got an excellent critic in me, the first critic always. I see the girls are also nodding, saying yes, she's a tough critic. But I've been very fortunate to go over it. I've loved it, and I'm really hoping you love it as well. And thank you for being here. With that said, this evening is about you, Manu, of course. The man who wears many masks quite deftly. The man who chose a very good partner, great decision.
The only decision I'm proud of.
And the man who is the father to my daughters, very proud of that. And I would, on that note, now would like to call my older one to, share some reflections about her dad. Come on, Manu.
And I wanted to take a moment today to share a little about the parts of my dad's writing journey that I've been lucky to witness. As Mama said, there's been first book, a second, this whole writing process, and I'm really grateful to have been a part of it and watched his art come to life. He inspires me every day. But so the dad I've known since I was little has always kind of been an artist in one way or another. Whether he was singing creative lullabies or telling the most invigorating bedtime stories that only made me want to stay up longer, his love for the arts has always been a really big part of my life. And even as I grew older and I started to think I was too cool for lullabies and bedtime stories, my dad's way with words carried into motivational speeches and the long lectures, heartfelt advice he would give me about friendship, school, boys, all my classic 9-year-old worries. Now as I stand here today at the launch of his book, The Fires We Become, I couldn't be prouder to be his daughter and have watched him and his art evolve over the years. So holding this book in my hand definitely feels a little surreal. There was a first one, but this is my first book launch of his that I'm attending. But I saw firsthand the work that he poured into it, maybe, watching from the sidelines, getting to read it even, before it was finished, helping him pick the cover and everything. But I'm really grateful to have been a part of his process. And every day and every night he sort of spent hunched over his computer with headphones on, coffee in hand. You know, it's been a true labor of love, and I'm really kind of happy to be holding it in my hand. Proud of him for getting it published, all of it. I know it wasn't easy, you know, and it is truly a testament to his passion, or I guess his fire for writing. It's also because being an excellent author, in my view, isn't the only job he holds, along with holding a demanding corporate job that I couldn't name if I tried. He also wears many hats at home. So to me, he's a chef, a chauffeur, and above all, my best friend. Really my person, my inspiration. And you know, to many of you here, he's a loving brother, an amazing friend, and a trusted confidant, and really so much more. And I think all of us who are lucky enough to have him in our lives can agree that to know you is to love you, Papa, and the person you are, the life you've lived, the passion you carry are so clearly reflected in your work. So with that being said, I think it's best we let his art speak for itself. So I'll take a quick moment of your time to read an excerpt on page 108 of chapter 12 called The Maker and the Boy. And I feel it really showcases what this book has to offer and why I love it so much.
I promise you, I did not help her with Sif charge and everything.
This is page 108. Something shifted inside me. In that instant, I'd never felt more confident, complete, safe, wanted. I belonged. Here was a man in pain, far away from his home and bees, who had just cheated death, yet exuded the brightest courage I'd ever seen. Here was a woman who had only known life's rough edges, yet showed more courage than most men. Here was a brother who trembled watching horror flicks, but was raring to go against the dreaded mafia because they had tortured his friend. Who was I to stop that verve? Who was I to question the ferocity of an unlikely yet determined force? They say when a highly unlikely event occurs, all bets are off. The naysayers take a holiday and the pigs fly. Stones bleed and the rivers surge. Phoenixes rise and the sun doesn't care in which direction it sets. They were right. All bets were off. We had to make it count. We had to make us count. And so that's my favorite excerpt of the book. Now, I really think that this book reignites the fires within all of us. And I really hope you'll read it, find yours, explore yours. And yeah, thank you. Oh, yes, and I'd like to welcome Kimaya.
Hi, my name is Kimaya, as you know, and you can, I'm the better daughter. She says something to that.
Let's get that out of the way, right?
Yeah. So today I'll be from the new book, and I'm so excited to be seeing my dad launch his new book with all of his hard work and dedication that he's put in this over the past years. He's always, as Myra said, that computer typing new words or figuring out a way to make it better, which I don't think it can be. But yeah, so I was going to be reading a page from the 14th chapter called Lion's Woman. Feeble sprinkles of daylight filtered through thousands of clay idols, lined up one after another. Shamshu and I had entered a potter's workshop in the 300-year-old potter's colony located along the northern bank of the Hooghly in Kolkata. Dark as a coal mine, the workshop was a cavern of shadows, a high tarpaulin ceiling, wired together with bamboo loomed above, and ash-colored mud walls absorbed that little light dared to enter. The earthen sculptures of Durga stood unfinished. The potters had a little over a month to complete. to complete them for the festival season. The place smelled like a farmhouse, a faint stench of cow dung and fertilizers floating atop a strong current of dried grass. The semi-wet clay idols devoured all the heat they could find to fortify their new identity, making the air eerily cooler than the outside. 1,000 undone eyes of the ochre goddess watched us as we walked deeper into the darkness and down a narrow aisle, our footsteps squelching against the wet, muddy floor. Despite the dimness around us, the idols remained vivid and stark, almost luminous in the gloom. Soon they would leave this darkness, carried away by elected devotees, and installed across the city for a grand 10-day religious spectacle. Streets would transform into dazzling arenas of worship and revelry. The 10-armed goddess sent to vanquish the mighty beyond the reach of man or God, would reign over a city pulsing with this song, dance, and devotion. But for now, this dark, unending tunnel showed no affiliation to dance and narrative. As we moved deeper inside, small halogen bulbs dangling from a high asbestos ceiling took over, gradually replacing the faint sound. The idols grew in size and ferocity, more intricate in the depiction of their stories and more powerful in their bearing. These large idols had bamboo meshes supporting them, soon to be populated with Durgas, Progony, and an army of lions, swans, and owls. The celestial entourage accompanying her on her yearly visit. Some idols smiled at us, while others roared silent Bible calls, their 10 hands clenching invisible weapons and their third eye unblinking in the center of their forehead. Some wore unfinished crowns yet to be adorned with sparkle. Some were partially painted with bright colors peeking out, draping the bodies in reds and gold, a promise of what she would be. Hug around me. I always feel so safe and loved every time I'm just next to him. To wrap it up, I'm not saying much because I can't really talk. He's worked so hard on this, and I, for one, am so proud to have my dad as this amazing author. And yeah, I love him so much.
This household has too many strong personalities about the interesting title of the book, which we have personally debated a lot about, which is the fires we pick up, which all of you know intimately of in your lives through your personal experiences. You don't need any prep for that. You all have become fires through many, many processes in your lifetime. So the one question that I'd like to pose each of you is just in line with the title of the book, which is The Fires We Become. What is that one fire or many fires which you think have shaped you as you went through it? Like the person you've become. It could be from any of your lifetime till now. Any one thing, any three things. We start with the gentleman here.
Firstly, this is more than family. So Manu is an elder brother, and we've known each other since literally I was about 4 years old, 3 years old, probably younger than that, of course. I'm very proud of the book. I was here in the last book launch as well. I'm very happy to meet him every 5-6 years whenever he decides to launch a book. But coming back to your question, I think I've had a lot of these fire moments over the years, and it's, I think, just a matter of catching the right one, and then that kind of takes you to the next step. I would term these fire moments as probably junctures of my life where I have to take a chance, take a call whether I want to do this or do that, and that kind of defines your path pretty much. For instance, I decided to do a bachelor's in music in Australia. If I had not done that, my life would have been very different than what it is today. And I think I took out that particular opportunity, and that created a very, very beautiful experience for me. and so on and so forth. I think with films, with music, with reinventing yourself, I think once a person gets a hang of utilizing these fiery moments that come and present themselves, you kind of are waiting for these moments whenever they come, and you can identify them from a regular moment coming to a particular moment that is going to take you places. And I think that has happened immense amount of times in my life, and I'm looking for more of these to latch onto them so that I take it to the next step.
Very well said, Raghav. Thank you so much. The crossroads and how you made the best of those. Thank you so much. Neeti?
Good evening, everyone. It's so amazing to be here, and we were waiting for this day for many, many weeks. Since the time we got to know that Manu is again launching his second book, and it takes a lot. So first, I really, really want to congratulate you, Manu, because firstly, you had to become fire yourself before you could just reach this point that yes, we'll launch the book, and and then things fall in place. So everybody showed up, and this is so amazing to see you just do what you love. And I've known you for many years now, and it is so heartening to see him grow as a writer, as an artist. I really feel this is an art, and it's amazing. Well, what fires the fires will become. I feel purpose is your fire, and whenever there is purpose, there is a path, and whenever you have that, I think whenever I have felt that I have this purpose and this is where I want to be, I felt that fire within me to go and get it, and I think that's when we celebrate this fire, and I hope it continues to stay with us. So that's what it is. और वो जो बच्चा शोर मचा रहा है वो मेरा ही है. One of the fires is over there. And I'm so happy Nihar just landed, so he could make it. So I'm so happy that
He's coming straight
from the airport.
Thank you so much.
ये हमारे दोस्तों के लिए always there.
This is the love that we have immense gratitude for. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neeti. Beautifully said. And of course, the fire herself.
And first of all, Manu, it's like you're amazing. It's not easy to write one book after the other. बहुत सारी अंदर से फाइट नाइट करनी पड़ती है. Yes, I should know. I have done that, and it takes immense lot of patience, perseverance, and faith in yourself to keep at it and keep going. And as much credit I want to give you, this is not a solo job. As much as you think that you just dunk your head inside your laptop or your notepad and you're writing, but there's someone else who's doing most of the things for you so that you get that safe space to write. And that pillar of strength that you have is in Neeti. She's always celebrated you. She's been your biggest cheerleader. I know this evening is about you, but it's not without her. So I think she's as much of a she's the biggest cheerleader, and it's just so lovely to see her anchor and then root for you, post for you, make things happen, and she sees immense joy. That's the kind of partnership that you actually look at, and I'm so proud that you both enjoy that with your two daughters. The lovely word that you spoke today was really, really sweet, and it was really nice. But both of you were great. You too. Really sweet. And about the fires we become, I think all of us are born with an innate sense of purpose, just extending to what she's saying, and an innate sense of intuitiveness. And so we know this is what we want, but the moment we sort of deviate from that, just because of lack of faith in ourselves or judgment from other people or their point of views, we start to lose that fire, and that challenge becomes, that itself becomes a very challenging situation. So I think to keep having faith in yourself, to keep finding that purpose in yourself, to keep finding that intuition in yourself, to be connected with yourself is where you find fire. It need not be just in writing books or having lunches or just, it's every day. It's a moment that you need to keep seeking and kind of, then it's useful, and then your entire day, entire life becomes meaningful without having to sort meaning in it. I don't know if I'm making sense, and you can try to get it. At times we sort of quantify things. मुझे इससे खुशी मिलेगी, मुझे उससे खुशी मिलेगी, आज lunch करके खुशी मिलेगी. But at times where just living itself becomes fire enough that you enjoy every moment moment of it, every moment that you breathe, that's your fire. I think this is what I want to become. Perhaps I haven't become yet, but that's my mission and that's my aim. That I become that, that fire, then no one can douse it. So that's not. It's not extinguishable. Nothing can extinguish it, right? It's me there, and that's what I want to be. And I really wish that this book takes me closer. I can see a lot of the image is also very very interesting. The graphic. बड़ा वो वाला है कौन सी हमारी वो मूवी थी वो सीरीज where it's upside down all the kids the teenagers which one was that Stranger Things. It's giving me Stranger Things vibes. I don't know, maybe it's multi-dimensional, the book. I haven't read it, or maybe it's your own version. You find multiple versions of yourself. And I feel this is what the cover sort of says. I don't know, I'm going to read, but it's very, very interesting. Hats off to you, hats off to your publishers, Rupa Publishing. The house, congratulations, you have a winner in Manu Dhawan. Manu Dhawan नाम पढ़ के लगता है बहुत ही सेट बनता है ये अपनी बारी हम सबको नहीं बुलाने वाला है ये सीधा यार कोई इधर आने वाला है that's the name right it's like that Manu Dhawan the way it's written bro you're a bestseller already all my love and love to you.
Thank you so much. Oh, such beautiful words, inspirational words. Thank you so much. Would you want to add anything to it?
I had this long, not very long, but I had some words to say, and I think you guys have all covered it, so I don't need to go there and talk about it. It's pretty much the essence of.
Nobody's fair.
It's pretty much the essence of the whole theme of the story, right? And you guys have really distilled it to the last sort of drop. But thank you. I mean, we were talking earlier. That word isn't enough, for you to take time out. I know it takes a lot. I know you have to make things happen, and to do that shows that there is some love for me, and that is so humbling. I can't explain. For each and every one of you to be here, to decide to spend this time with me, to make that effort, is just incredible. So, thank you so much. From the deepest core of my heart.
I know. Maybe I'll change the question for you. Just one small thing. What was the most challenging part and what was the most rewarding part as you were sort of going through? And you can keep it short because your family has taken the good time. So.
I think, Tahira mentioned this, and Tahira is an accomplished author herself, a filmmaker herself, and to create anything of art, we've got two fantastic, world-leading musicians. To create any art or anything which does not exist, the first challenge is to convince yourself that you're good enough. The sense of imposter syndrome is so strong. And for me, as a writer who's not really intended to make a career out of it, or spend 5 years understanding the art, it was something that I loved doing, and the passion kept me going and kept me getting hopefully better at it, right? But the biggest challenge was, Neeti, I think your own self. You had to convince yourself. Feel that you're wearing the right clothes or the right attire or the right cloak when you're wearing that cloak of the writer, saying this belongs to me, this is me, right? And what I'm doing is good enough for me. You are not playing for an audience. You have to first play for yourself. You have to be true to yourself. You've got to be real, and then honestly it becomes. So the challenge was to keep that demon's voice away and make sure I'm giving it my 100%. I think that the rewarding part is this. I mean, to have so much love, time, affection, smiles, laughter coming from each and every one of you. I can't ask for more. I mean, it's such a humbling and grounding experience. I don't deserve it, and I still get it, so I will take it with arms wide open. Thank you.
Yeah. Raghav, any 3 words that you describe the book in? For those who don't want to read, we'll just
Now
have
that is a challenge because I could go on about it, but I think edge of the seat, if I can call it one word, I would say that is one. I would say it's real. There is, if I can, sort of exhaust whatever little modesty I have left in me, I would say it's a real story about real people. I have tried to keep it as raw and real as one can be. And the third would probably be suspense, because there are elements that keep you sort of, hopefully, with that book, there is a lot of suspense, thriller, mystery. So yeah.
Thank you. I hope all of you get to read it, love it, and please encourage others as well to read and share feedback. Every feedback matters. Thank you so much. I'd ask the girls to quickly come and help felicitate lovely guests, friends.
Thank you so much for being here. Your time is precious, and like I said, you could be anywhere, but you're here with me. You're here with my family. You're here with my friends. You're here with my book, and that means a lot for me. I'm trying to, weigh it down in words, but it's way more than that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Neeti, Tahira, Raghav, absolutely nothing but love and gratitude. I'm inspired not just by what you've become or achieved professionally, but the people that you are, with exceptionally and inconveniently large hearts. That is what one tries to. I wouldn't have finished a million things in life if it wasn't for her. Unwashed dishes included. But here's to the fires we've lit the last 25 years, and here's to more. I'm sure we'll have a few sparks burning down towns and cities. So, Myra and Timaya, my two beautiful daughters, having you here tonight with me, it is the kind of things that father daydream about. It is a dream come true for me to have you here. The pride and light, in your eyes make me want to do better every single day. It is for you that I try to be a better man. So may you forge in your own fires and emerge not just stronger, but more you. Now, before I get misty-eyed and start doing that awkward tat sniff into the mic, let's talk a bit about this book. And I'm being selfish and sorry if I'm taking a couple of minutes, but the fires we become started with a question I just couldn't let go of. The question being, what if this, the very moments we wish had never happened were the ones that shaped us the most? We spend our lives dodging the flames, heartbreaks, losses, betrayals, disappointments. We fear they'll burn us down to nothing. But I've learned this. We are not only shaped by these fires, we are forged by them. They strip away what's unnecessary, what's hollow, and reveal the steel underneath. And yet, this is not a story about suffering just for the sake of suffering. This story is about transformation. And how the fires we walk through doesn't just leave scars, it leaves light, that we shine bright in our lives. We all carry fires. Some are from our past, some are burning right now, and some are yet to come. What matters is not how quickly we run away from them, but how we walk through them. Sometimes, how we start them. The characters in the fires we become aren't traditional heroes. They mess up, they are singed, they crack, they fall apart. But they also rise, not despite the fire, but because of it. And that's pretty much all of us, isn't it? None of us are untouched by the heat of life. The question is, will we let it consume us, or will it change us?
We also heard the second journey. This is about this journey, process in short and
So, I've always loved writing. I've always indulged in writing. Right from school days, I've been the editor of magazines and wrote on social media, and I think it's an art that I've been, I loved and I've developed it over the years. And when I felt that I had a story in me to share with the world, that's when I wrote my first book called The Unprodigal. That was a long time back, 6 years back. So and then as you write more, as you love your art more, I think you spend more time being a student of that art, right? You understand how can you be a better writer, the science behind storytelling. And I think the second book, which I wrote in 2020, and I finished it in probably 4 or 5 months, and it was just lying there because I could not really get it to editing and life took over or whatever. The journey has been that of a student. I think the more you are humble and the more you know that you will always be a student, that teaches you the art. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
When you wrote this second book and tell us about where it is available, is it really available?
Yeah, so it was recently launched on Amazon for pre-orders, and it's now officially available on Amazon. It's available in bookstores. Rupa Publications has published it, and I'm sure, being the strong publication house that they will be distributing the books and having them placed in different bookstores. But it's also available online, like I said. It's available on Amazon. What was the other question? See, the basic theme of the book, like I mentioned earlier, is about how your struggles and challenges shape you. The choices when you're faced against a hard battle in front of you, how do you how do you decide what to do? What are your decisions? What are your choices? Does that struggle, or fires as I call them, does those fires, does that create you or break you? Does that mold you stronger, or does that melt you? And based on that, can you make those challenges your own and become that and be stronger than that, right? So the theme of the book is, and you'll see all the characters in the book are about making right choices and wrong choices. We are human beings. We'll never make all choices which are the right ones. We will make wrong choices, but how do you overcome that? How do you overcome the fires that you burn in? And how do you become that fire by staying true to yourself? Each character in the book is like that and goes through that fire to evolve, to transform, to become something bigger and stronger and larger.
Lastly, your daughter's very weak. How was that moment, father?
It's unreal. It's surreal, if I can call it that, because I never thought, 20 years back, that two of my kids sitting right in front of me would be talking the way that they talked about the story, about the book. I mean, I had tears in my eyes, and likely, any father would. It is one of the most beautiful memories of my life, which I'll take to my grave. So, thank you.